Hello and welcome to Cape Town, and welcome to the new Jaguar E-Pace. Now, fans of the alphabet will have realized that E is one before F. So, if the F-Pace is Jaguar's flagship SUV, then this is its baby brother. And given that it is its baby brother, you would think that it's smaller, lighter and cheaper than an F-Pace. And it is some of those things, but not all of them. And that's what makes this E-Pace interesting.
The Jaguar E-Pace has been designed to compete in a new segment full of compact SUVs from luxury brands. Audi's Q2 arrived in South Africa some time ago, while Volvo's XC40 and BMW's X2 have just gone on sale. But the Jag is unique in that it's more expensive than all of them, by quite some margin.
So if you want to get into the Jaguar brand on a budget, the E-Pace actually isn't the answer. That would be the XE sedan. It's a bit cheaper than the bottom of the range E-Pace. And the bottom of the range E-Pace will set you back 608,000 Rand. But for that price, you're likely to get a car with some seats and a steering wheel. If you want all the modern features and tech that comes with owning a modern Jaguar, then you'll have to fork out quite a bit more. Like a lot more. This top-spec diesel version, the HSE R-Dynamic that I'm busy driving, costs 858,000 Rand. 858,000. 858,000. I don't know, maybe I'm just a poor car journalist, but that strikes me as a lot of money for a compact SUV, for a crossover, which this kind of is.
At this price point, you're likely to have high expectations, and where the Jag really shines is in the cabin. This is a properly luxurious car.
The first thing that might catch your eye is actually this little R logo down here with the red and green detailing, to let you know that you've bought one of the expensive E-Paces. Congratulations. And then in front of that is the fully digital instrument cluster carried over from the F-Pace as well. I mean, these are becoming quite common these days actually, but it is still very cool. A lot of the design is carried down from the F-Pace, this grab handle here for your passengers. All the switch gear is all very fancy, very sleek looking. I do like the gear knob. I think that's one of the nicer looking ones on the market. But one of the real highlights is the infotainment system. It's a big step up from the previous generation that you would find in Jags, and it's actually identical to the one you'll find in, say, the Range Rover Velar. Really nice and easy to use, works like a smartphone, connects to your phone, gives you nav, all the rest of it. But a couple of extra little features in here worth mentioning. It can bring you the news headlines from CNN and Reuters, for instance. Also has some impressive 360-degree cameras, which you can operate independently, and I can change it and have a look at my wheels, my front wheels, so I don't curb them on the pavement. That's very nice. But my favorite feature in a car these days, all these cameras are all very nice and everything, but heated and cooled seats. Just blows a cool breeze on your backside in the summer and heats you up in the winter. That's what I'm looking for in a car.
Heated seats are very nice, but what else do you get for your money?
Well, you get an engine, which, you know, helps with forward progress, and it is actually a very good engine. It's a 2-litre diesel, 177 kilowatts, which is good power, and a pretty decent wallop of torque, 500 Newton meters. That's really good power and torque. And the cool thing is that the torque peak comes in at 1500 RPM. That's nice and low, so you don't have this horrible turbo lag that you do get with some big diesel engines. It is a little bit louder than you would hope for in a car of this price, but it's not too bad. I suppose they could have added a bit more sound deadening material, but that would have made the car heavier. And weight is a bit of an issue with this car. And here's where it gets interesting. So this is the baby brother, right? But it's only 3 millimeters shorter than the F-Pace. 3 millimeters. And here's the kicker. It's heavier. This car is heavier than an E-Pace. How did they manage that? That's like mini-me weighing more than Dr. Evil. It doesn't make any sense. So as I was saying earlier, you would hope it's lighter and more agile, but it isn't. It doesn't feel as good to drive as the F-Pace. The F-Pace actually feels a bit lighter on its feet than this car does. And while there's plenty of grip here, plenty of traction, you know, the car's not gonna fall over in the corners, it does feel quite top heavy. Feels like it sort of leans a bit more than it should, and to compensate for that, they've stiffened up the suspension, which means that the ride quality isn't as good as it could be. So all in all, quite a compromised vehicle, this. Alright, so this is the R-Dynamic model, so I suppose you know, we'd better put it in dynamic mode and see what it can do. And I've come to a road with some corners. So this car features Jaguar's new 9-speed gearbox. 9 speeds, I mean, do you really need 9 speeds? I don't know, I'm not so sure. Jaguar thinks you do though. And they've given me flappy paddles to use, but to be honest, with 9 speeds, there's not much point. You just sort of get lost somewhere between 8 and 5. So better to let the gearbox just do its thing. Here is a corner, let's see, will we fall over? No, that's actually not bad. It's a lot better than I was expecting. It does feel like it sort of leans from the top, but I mean, you know, that's an SUV for you. The all-wheel drive system providing tons of grip, so I don't feel like I'm at risk of sort of flying off this mountain, but at the same time, it does feel like the car is a bit too tall. It feels like the center of gravity is sort of somewhere up here around my belly button. I can't kind of feel the car through the seats of my pants. And you might think, oh, well, Chiro, you're in an SUV, you're never going to. But this is the thing. Jaguar got it right with the F-Pace. When you drive that car, you can actually feel the car sort of pivoting around you. It doesn't feel like you're sitting on it. It feels like you're in it. It feels like you're part of the machine. That's what's so impressive about that F-Pace. And you'd think that making a smaller SUV, that it would have more of those characteristics, more of that sort of ability, more of that feeling, but this car just doesn't. It's not fun though, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? So I've been trying to put my thoughts together about this E-Pace. And if I put myself in the shoes of somebody that doesn't balk at the price of the car, you know, nearly 900,000 Rand, then, and maybe somebody who wants all the luxury and all the tech, all the bells and whistles of an F-Pace, but doesn't want the sort of long wheelbase, the kind of bulk of the car, then maybe the E-Pace makes a bit of sense. Maybe. But let's just go over that price again. 858 grand before you tick a couple of extra boxes. And recently I drove the top of the range Nissan Qashqai, the Techno model with the really, really good 1.6 diesel engine. That was 430,000 Rand. So that means, if we do a little bit of maths, that you could buy 2 top-spec Nissan Qashqais for the price of this E-Pace. 2. Is this really twice as good as a top-spec Nissan Qashqai? I don't think so.
And that's just it. This segment is already packed full of great cars at half the price. Luxury brands like Jaguar have to offer a package strong enough to back up the badge on the nose. And with the E-Pace, I think it's the badge that buyers might value the most.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, you know, maybe give it a like, and definitely subscribe to be the first to see our videos as they drop. Yeah, definitely do that.